Hey, welcome back to Ignosis TCG. Very exciting news today. We're going to go over some news that just came out for April merch store updates and also pre order information. In fact, let's actually get started with the pre order information. So, this is the FAQ for it. So, a lot of important dates and information here. So, if you want to get the new Unleash set or even previous sets for a really, really good price, you want to pay attention. So, there's going to be a Riftbound pre-order drawing. So basically, you enter your name on a certain date. If your name gets drawn, you'll get an email, and you'll get like a dedicated link to go in and purchase a product off of the merch store for Riot. So it's an online purchase directly from Riot, and you're going to get MSRP for that. You don't have to get up early in the morning and go to Target and beat off a bunch of people just to get your booster packs. The products that they're going to be offering is the Unleash booster display. So it's a 24 14 card booster packs. It's like those like big boxes that you see on the store shelves, if you ever see them. 120 bucks. So if you just want to collect and open packs and have a good time, this is what you want to get. This equates to around like $5 a pack, not including taxes. So this is the most cost-efficient way of getting boosters. When this comes out to your local game store, they're going to be selling it for $10, $12. And the only way other retail place you can get it for less than that is going to be your Targets, your Best Buys, your GameStops, but they're always going to be out of stock because scalpers are just going to come in and buy it all up. This gives you a chance to buy at MSRP. Then they're going to give out the Vex Champion decks and the V Champion decks. My opinion on this is usually you'll see these in the local game stores. It's a pre-constructed deck. I'll have another video coming out for both of these decks this weekend, going over what's in the deck and how to play them, and if you should buy it if you're interested in those very specific cards. But it's not a bad value at $19, but it is very, very specific. So if you are going to, like myself, who wants to build a Pike deck or an Ivern deck or something else, or Diana, LeBlanc is probably going to be a big one. Maybe you want to save your money and not get these, or maybe you do because there's going to be certain cards in here that you want to homebrew a deck for some other legend and champion. But yeah, so these two pre-constructed decks will be included as well. And then there's also the Unleashed Vault. So is this worth it? Not worth it? It could be. So you get 6 boosters. You also get all 36 basic runes, 3 full art tokens, so just a nice to have, and 2 dividers, just to organize your cards. So if you're actually new to the game, this is not a bad buy either. For $35, this comes out to around like almost $6, like $5.83 or something like that per pack. So it's actually still a very efficient way of buying booster cards if you want to, and then you get a bunch of collecting runes just from booster packs is kind of a pain. If you go to your local game store, they usually have just boxes of like extra runes and stuff like that, bulk cards, and my local game store just gave me all of them for free, like every single every single rune type. That was very kind of them, and that's why I'm very supportive of the local game stores. Are they selling you booster packs for $10, $12? Yeah. But are they also putting together Nexus nights and people for you to play with and a lot of other benefits? Absolutely. So I think because of that, they can charge a bit of a premium, and they're also charging a bit of a premium to stop scalpers, right? I mean, those stop scalpers even if they're selling at MSRP, but this kind of like reinforces that a little bit more. So not a bad way. So details on the drawing. So there's actually going to be 2 drawings. So this is their right here. They're talking about the first one, and then just some questions like how does it work and whatnot. I'm gonna skip over to this other April merch store updates because it gives you a little bit more information. So let's dig into that. The TLDR is like, what are they doing? How's registering going on? This is important. Registering is all on one page, updating the sign up experience for multiple items as checkboxes on a single page rather than requiring players to visit multiple pages. Just go to the Riot merch store right here. So, it's, merch.riotgames.com. You go select Riftbound. Here's categories, click Riftbound, and then you can start doing everything over there. And so what's not mentioned in the other post is that there are actually going to be 2 drawings and technically like a sub drawing category. And that's what they're talking about over here, Riftbound catch up moment. So they're going to give an opportunity for players to catch up in the sense of being able to buy booster boxes and sets for a better price MSRP, and having like an additional opportunity to do so. And I'll lay that out here. So first drawing, what you're going to want to do is set your alarm for Monday, April 13th, 9 p.m. Pacific time. So for me, that'll be 11. So make sure you got the time zone correct. But like even then, you don't have to rush to it. The drawing closes in 48 hours. So you have a 48 hours just to put your name in. It's randomly drawn, so it's not first come first serve or anything like that. You just put your name in and cross your fingers and hope that your name gets drawn out. 5 days later, if you get an email, hey, congrats, you will get a special link to click on and buy what you want without having to beat scalpers or bots online. And this will be the first drawing, and it's only going to be for that new Unleashed product sets that I already mentioned in the other post, the boosters, champion decks, and the Unleashed Vault. Then there will be a second drawing. So this will be on May 18th. So again, that's when the drawing opens. May 20th, that's when the drawing will close. And then May 26th, if you get your email, then hooray, you can go and purchase. The second drawing is also a catch-up moment, is what they're calling. So for second drawing, we're making it a catch-up moment for players by including more than just Unleashed boosters. So you can actually, this will have other products in here too. The first one is just for Unleashed. The second one is also going to be Origins, Spirit Forge, as well as Proving Grounds. I don't know the difference between Proving Grounds and Origins. If anyone knows, let me know. And so they won't be in the same quantities as Unleashed. All purchased items will be bundled and shipped together to minimize shipping costs to players. So that's very nice. So what do they mean by catch up? So if you try to buy online before and you weren't able to for whatever reason, this will give you a chance to be in the catch-up pool. If you're in the catch-up pool and the main pool, you can be in two pools. So you get 2 emails and 2 opportunities to just buy more stuff for a better price. If you're not in the catch-up pool, you can get picked in the main pool and then hopefully just at least have one opportunity. So I'm not going to read all this, but here's the eligibility. If you've entered the Spirit Forge drawing, I did not because I came into the game late, so shame on me. But if you have, hey, things are looking good. You entered the Lunar Revel bundle drawing. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even see it in the news, but apparently it happened close to Lunar New Year. And you entered this one, and then you entered the first Unleashed drawing. So this is the first one that we talked about on April 15th that's going to happen. And you were not selected in any of these drawings. If you fulfill all of these conditions, you entered 3 drawings, and you were not selected for any one of them, you will be eligible. So you won't be in the catch-up pool, but you'll be eligible to be drawn in the catch-up pool, as well as, that's why they underlined it, the main pool of product. So just to make it crystal clear, anybody and everyone can be eligible to be drawn in the main pool. So there's the main pool. And then there's a subsection pool, or not even a subsection, a completely separate pool, excuse me. And eligibility is based on these 4 criteria. Entered drawing for Spirit Forge, Lunar Revel Bundle, and the Unleashed drawing. And you weren't selected for any of them. You just got very, very unlucky. You struck out 3 times. Then you're eligible for this catch-up pool. If you get into that catch-up pool, and it's going to be a smaller pool of people because not everyone's going to, like, I don't qualify. But if you qualify, then you can qualify in that pool. So that means you can get selected for main, and you can get selected for catch-up, and you have 2 opportunities. And so why does it matter for 2 opportunities? Because they're limiting products. You can purchase 1 product per SKU type. So you can get like the Vex, Vi, pre-constructed decks, and the booster box, for example. But you can't buy 10 booster boxes. They won't let you do that. You can buy 1. But if you're in that second catch-up pool, so you buy 1 booster box from your main pool, and then you buy a booster box from your catch-up pool. So I think it's a nice system. It's great for people trying to catch up. I wish I could be included because I'm, I've been trying to get cards for a good price as well. So yeah, this just clarifies even more about that. And the last thing is local game stores. So I'll just read this final paragraph, our vision for the Riot Merchant Store as a tool in aiding the accessibility of the game for the community, providing Riftbound products to players as part of our efforts to combat scalpers, and expand the availability of the game, including to those who may not have a store near them, which is nice. Additionally, we intend the merch store to be a place for us to offer players non-set products, such as we did earlier this year with the Lunar Revel bundle, and we're exploring how we could provide some of these products to local game stores to sell as well. So they're really trying to invest in the local game stores. I think that's a very smart move. They're really trying to invest and grow the local playing scene, because the more people are actually playing the game, it creates a healthier meta. It's good for business for them. People are buying more products. Game stores are happy to continue to purchase from them because they're making money off of doing Nexus nights. You have to pay in to play into Nexus nights and stuff like that, and it makes sense because you're renting space to play with like-minded players. So I think that totally makes sense. The last thing I'll share is this. This is the Lunar Revel bundle. I believe this was released earlier this year. I guess they're gonna re-release it again, so that'll be really cool. And it comes with some, a playmat, some sleeves. I think these are some red envelopes. Would have been more relevant to Chinese New Year's, as you give money to people in red envelopes. You get some booster packs. I think it's 3 booster packs. You get a alt art card. It'd be really cool if you can get this one in English. And it's a promo, so it's a promo card, so it's going to be worth quite a bit of money. And then you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting the coin chaser, Poro chaser. So that's kind of cool. Anyways, that's it for today. I will encourage you guys to like, follow, and subscribe. I will be going over the decks mentioned in this post for Vex and Vi, breaking down what cards are in it, what's the play style, and not really making a recommendation if you want to buy it, but giving you as much information as you need to see if you actually do want to go ahead and buy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.